Okay, so let's get started. Last week, what happened? Right? What last week? The Lin family was they were fighting against these people at the other school that I forget the name of, the Chincheng school, and they were roundly defeated. Okay, they were getting their ass kicked, and they were going to lose, but then they were saved by that old man and the woman or the girl with the pox-marked face that we saw in the beginning. All right, and they saved them. Actually, they saved the little boy. They saved Lin Pingji, our major character, and they put Lin Pingji on a horse, and the horse goes away. He runs away. Um, and then they get into a fight with the Chincheng Sword School, and they defeat those guys. But then they just run off, right? And so those students at the Chincheng Sword School, they capture Lin Pingji's parents, and they were going to bring him to Mount Chincheng, to the Chincheng school to meet their master. And now Lin Pingji, what he does is he wants to go to that same school, and to rescue his parents, presumably. And he travels to all of the different branches, a couple of different branches of their Fortune Prestige escort house, and he finds out that it was a coordinated strike. Right, the Chincheng school attacked all of their branches simultaneously. So that means that it wasn't because Lin Pingqi killed that son of the master of the Chincheng Sword School. It wasn't because of that. It was a coordinated strike, and we don't know why yet. And then Lin Pingqi goes to this one town, and then he sits in a restaurant, and he hears the patrons talk about this hand washing ceremony that's going to happen in a couple of days, where one of the like really good martial artists, one of the really good fighters of the Hangshan school, one of the major schools, is going to do a washing of the hands ceremony, which is a ceremony where he exits the martial arts world. He exits. Okay, he has nothing. He won't have anything to do with that world again. So, and then while they're talking, there was this one old man playing a song, and everyone is annoyed because he keeps playing the song while they're talking. Then one of the guy confronts him, and then this old man, this weak-looking old man, does this move where he does his martial arts move where he pulls a sword out of his instrument, and then he cuts off the tops of like 7 cups of tea, right? So there were 7 teacups on the table. He cuts it all off, and he puts the sword back into his instrument, and he just walks away. Yeah, and then you see that he cuts it off. He cuts off the 7 teacups, but then they just stay. But then they haven't moved, right? So he just cuts it off really fast, and then they break. And everyone's like, "Oh my god, that is so good!" All right, then let's see what happens next. How's that? How was that recap? I didn't even prepare for it. Hey Jonathan, how's it going? Thanks for coming. Hi Foxo. Orava. No, you're not late. You're like right on time. Lloyd, how's it going, Lloyd? Rainier. Rainier says, I love your haircuts and your videos. And he's playing Uno with his brother. And storyteller. Yes. Uno's fun. Chio says, great recap. Thanks, Chio. Nikki says, a great recap. Thanks. You guys are so nice. This is kind of therapeutic for me. Like, this whole live stream thing. All right, you guys ready? Okay. People in the tea shop gathered around and everyone started talking about the cups. Who is he? What incredible sword skills, one person exclaimed. One slice gets all 7 cups and none of the cups moved at all. It's almost like magic, another one praised. Luckily, the old gentleman showed mercy upon you, someone said to the short fat man. Otherwise, your head and neck would have been just like these cups. Nah, that old gentleman must be a famous master. He would never have lowered himself to behave so commonly, another one commented. The short fat man just stared at the 7 half cups blankly. His face was completely white, and he did not hear a word said by the crowd. See, I told you not to talk so much, the middle-aged man in the silk robe said. Trouble comes from unnecessary words. Worry comes from acting without thinking. Right now, there are all kinds of hidden dragons and crouching tigers in Hangshang, and many of them are elite fighters. That old gentleman must be a good friend of great Mr. Mo. He heard your disrespectful words about great Mr. Mo, and so of course he decided to teach you a lesson. So you guys, in this town right now, everyone is going to that hand washing ceremony because that guy is a very famous dude. So it seems like there are a lot of really great fighters in town right now. Okay, and that one guy with the sword in the instrument was just one of them. He wasn't a good friend of great Mr. Mo, the graybeard said coldly. That was the headmaster of Hangshan Sword School, Knight Reign of Xiaoxiang, great Mr. Mo himself. What? He was great Mr. Mo? How do you know? Everyone was shocked and asked the question simultaneously. It's quite elementary, the graybeard said. Great Mr. Mo comes to play the huqin, and especially the song Knight Reign of Xiaoxiang. The huqin is that the instrument that the guy was playing. Oh. Let's look up that instrument, right? I think I showed it before. I showed it last week, but I didn't show you how it was held. Like, maybe you already know it, but like this. Right, so you hold it on your knee or something. So it looks like the old man was playing this, and he had a bow. He played like a violin. There are 2 strings, and then here at the top, I think, was where is the handle of his sword. So he just pulls this thing up, and the sword comes out. Yeah. Jonathan, thanks for the super chat. $2. Awesome. Or is that a super sticker? All right. It could move the listeners to tears. The words, sword hidden in the huqin, sword plays the music. The music are an apt description of his kung fu skills. Since all of you are in Hangshan town, how can you never heard of that? That brother said earlier that Master Liu could pierce 5 wild geese with 1 thrust, but that great Mr. Mo could only get 3, so he sliced 7 cups in demonstration. If these cups can be sliced into pieces, how hard do you think it would be to get wild geese? No wonder he said that you were talking nonsense. The short fat man was still in shock. He lowered his head, speechless. The man in the silk robe paid the bill and dragged him out of the tea shop. The people in the tea shop had watched the magic thrust from Knight Reign of Xiaoxiang, great Mr. Mo, and suddenly they all felt a chill settle in their hearts. Since none had dissented when the short fat man was defaming great Mr. Mo, they worried that perhaps they had planted the seeds of trouble, so they all paid their bills and left hurriedly. In a short while, the once crowded tea shop became almost empty. Other than Ling Pingji, there were only 2 other guests bent over a table, dozing off. So that was the great Mr. Mo himself, the leader of the Hangshang school. Right? Hangshang is the school that of the guy who is going to leave the martial arts world. Oh yeah, so apparently I looked it up, the pronunciation of Lin Pingqi. Apparently it's Lin Pingqi. And I'm not going to say that. because it's really hard to say. So I'll try the Lin Pingzhi. Lin Pingzhi. Lin Pingzhi gazed at the 7 half cups and the 7 china rings on the table and sank deep into thought. The old man had been so wretched looking that it seemed someone could push him over with a single finger. Yet, with a mere wave of his sword, all 7 cups had been sliced in half. If he hadn't left Fuzhou, he would have never known that there could be people with such outstanding skills in the world. He was like a frog watching the sky from inside a well back at the Fortune Prestige Escort House. At that time, he thought that the highest level of kung fu people could achieve would be at most on par with that of his father. If he were to become a student of this old man and work hard on his kung fu training, he might actually have a chance to avenge the escort house. Otherwise, there was really no realistic hope. Lin Pingzhi mulled over the idea a bit longer. Why couldn't he go and find great Mr. Mo and implore him to rescue his parents and take him as an apprentice? He stood up in excitement, but a seed of doubt sprouted in his thoughts. After all, Mo was the headmaster of the Hangshang Sword School and the 5 Mountain Sword Alliance, and had a good relationship with the Jincheng Sword School. Why would he offend his allies for a total stranger? Having such a discouraging thought, he sat back down in depression. Just then, a melodious and tender voice rose. "Second apprentice brother, it looks like the rain just won't stop. I'm almost soaked through. Why don't we stop here for some hot tea?" Lin Pingzhi was stunned. He recognized the voice in the instant he heard it. It was none other than the voice of the ugly wine-selling girl who had saved his life. He lowered his head in a hurry. So we meet that girl again. All right, let's drink some hot tea to warm up a little, a much older-sounding voice answered. The two walked into the tea shop and sat at a table, diagonally across from Lin Pingzhi. Lin Pingzhi glanced out of the corner of his eyes and saw the wine-selling girl in a green dress seated with her back to him. The person sitting beside her was the old man who claimed to be her grandfather. "So, you two are really fellow apprentices disguised as grandfather and granddaughter to carry out some scheme in Fuzhou," he thought. But why did they save him? Maybe they would know of his parents' whereabouts. Oh, okay, so yeah, it looks like the grandfather was not a grandfather after all. It was just so these two are it looks like these two are just 2 apprentices or 2 students in the same school, and the grandfather thing was just a disguise. The waiter cleaned the table and brought out hot tea. The old man saw 7 half cups on the table beside them and could not help but utter a cry of surprise. Little apprentice sister, look. Amazing! Who could have cut these 7 cups? The young girl was also quite surprised. Little apprentice sister. How about I just say, little sister, let me pose a riddle. 1 thrust, 7 directions, powerful enough to cut gold and jade. Who do you think cut these 7 cups? The old man asked the girl in a low voice. I wasn't here when it happened. How should I know who? The girl started to protest, when suddenly she started clapping her hands in glee. I've got it! It's one of the 36 moves of the wind-twirling, geese-falling sword. The 17th move, 1 thrust, drops 9 geese. This must be the work of Liu Zhengfeng, Master Liu, she proclaimed triumphantly. I am afraid that Master Liu's skills have not progressed to that level yet. You've only got it half right. The old man shook his head with a smile. Stop, don't say it. The girl pointed at him with a big grin. I know who it was. It was Night Rain of Qiaojiang, great Mr. Mo. All of a sudden, the sounds of applause and laughter came from 7 or 8 different directions. Good job, little sister, several people shouted. Lin Pingzhi was startled. Where did all these people come from? He glanced out from the corner of his eyes again and saw that the two dozing men had stood up. And there were 5 others who just walked out of the tea shop's back room. One was dressed like a porter, one one held an abacus in his hands, and one looked like a merchant. Another had a small monkey perched on his shoulder and looked like a street performer. Ha, so you dirty tricksters were all hiding. You almost gave me a heart attack. Where's Big Apprentice Brother? The young girl grinned. We've just met, and you've already calling us dirty tricksters, the man with the monkey said with mock seriousness. Well, you hid yourselves and tried to scare me, didn't you? So of course you're dirty tricksters, the girl retorted with a grin. Why isn't Big Brother with you? How come you don't ask about anything else but your big brother? The man with the monkey laughed teasingly. There's a man with a monkey. We've barely spoken 2 sentences, and you've already asked about your big brother twice. Why don't you ask about your 6th senior apprentice brother? The girl stamped her foot on the floor. Bah, you're standing here in perfect shape, safe and sound, monkey boy. Why should I bother asking about you? Well, Big Apprentice Brother is also safe and sound. Why are you asking about him then? The man with the monkey shot back with a grin. I am not talking to you anymore, the girl exclaimed. 4th Apprentice Brother, you're the only gentleman of the bunch. Where is Big Apprentice Brother? So remember, these are not blood brothers and sisters, right? These are sworn brothers and sisters, people from the same school. They're not blood related. So it looks like she has a thing for her big brother. That sounds weird. She has a thing for her big apprentice brother. Hey, Amanda. Amanda wants a summary. You didn't miss much. So, Lin Pingchu is alone in a restaurant and he meets these people. And it looks like he meets the old man and the young girl, the young pockmarked face girl that we met in the beginning. And it looks like those guys, or the old man was in disguise, and the young girl was also in disguise. Okay, they're not grandfathers and granddaughter. They were, or they are, sworn brothers and sisters. Right? They're in the same school. Where am I? Before the man dressed as porter could answer, several others began to protest. Oh, only your 4th apprentice brother is a gentleman? And we are all villains? Hey, number 4, don't answer her. Don't answer then, the girl exploded huffily. If you don't want to tell me, fine, but don't expect me to tell you one word about the strange and interesting things that happened on our way here when I was with 2nd apprentice brother. The man dressed as porter did not participate in any of the joking and banters. He seemed to be a simple and straightforward person. We departed with Big Apprentice Brother yesterday at Hangyang, he said. He told us to come first. By now, he is probably already sober and will be here soon. He got drunk again? The girl frowned slightly. Yep, the man dressed as a porter answered. This time he really drank his fill, the man with the abacus cut in. He drank from morning till noon, and then from noon till dusk, he probably drank at least 20 to 30 liters of good wine. That's not good for his health. Why didn't you talk to him? The girl admonished. The man with the abacus stuck his tongue out and made a face. If Big Apprentice Brother would listen to other people's advice, then the sun would have risen from the west. But I guess if the little apprentice sister tried to stop him, then he might drink 1 liter less. Everyone laughed at these words. Why did he start drinking like that? Was he celebrating something? The girl asked. You'll have to ask him about that, the man with the abacus replied. I think he figured he would see his little apprentice sister when he came to Hangshang town, and felt really happy about it, so he decided to celebrate. Nonsense, the girl sniffed, yet she sounded quite pleased. Lin Pingshi listened to the joking among these fellow apprentices. It seems this girl really likes her big apprentice brother very much, he thought. But if that 2nd apprentice brother is already so old, The big apprentice brother must be even older. The girl is just only 16 or 17. How could she fall in love with someone so old? He thought a bit longer and then found an answer. Ah, yes, the girl has poxmarks. Poxmarks all over her face. She is way too ugly. No one would take her. So she has to love an old drunkard. Then he heard the girl asking again, So big apprentice brother started drinking since yesterday morning? I guess if we don't tell you the whole story, you just won't leave us alone, the man with the monkey conceded. Yesterday morning, the 8 of us were just about to start the trip when a big apprentice brother suddenly detected the scent of some great wine from the street. We checked it out and found a beggar drinking out of a wine calabash. I guess that's what's a calabash? I guess that's a thing that holds wine. That really piqued big apprentice brother's sense of wine, so he went over to talk to the beggar, praising his wine and asking what kind it was. The beggar replied that it was monkey wine, and big apprentice brother asked what monkey wine was. The beggar then answered that monkeys in the western Hunan province knew how to use fruits to make wine. The fruits those monkeys used were the freshest and sweetest, so the wine made from them was the best as well. The beggar had walked into the monkey's domain by accident, and the monkeys happened to be away, so he stole 3 calabashes of wine and also caught a small monkey. See, this is him. He pointed to the monkey on his shoulder. One of the monkey's legs was tied to his wrist by a line. The monkey kept rubbing his head, scratching its cheeks, and making faces. It looked very comical. The girl looked at the monkey and burst into laughter. 6 apprentice brother, no wonder your nickname is Monkey 6. You and your little friend here just look like twins. We are not twins, Monkey 6 said with a straight face. We are fellow apprentices. This little fellow is my big apprentice brother, and I am his junior. Everyone burst into loud laughter. The girl laughed as well. Aha, you are making fun of big apprentice brother. Wait till I tell him about this. He'll be sure to kick your behind. How did your brother end up in your hands? After some giggles, she asked again. My brother, Monkey 6, was lost for a moment. Are you talking about this little critter? Well, that's a long story. It's going to give me a headache. You don't have to tell me, I can guess, the girl said archly. Big apprentice brother must have asked for the monkey and asked you to take care of it, hoping the little thing would make a calabash of wine for him. Hey, that's right, Monkey 6 said. Big apprentice brother always likes to come up with these hair-brained schemes, the girl said. The monkeys only make wine when they're in the mountains. Now that he's caught, why would he collect fruits to make wine? If you let him go loose to find fruits, wouldn't he just run away? After a short pause, she continued, Otherwise, how come our Monkey 6 hasn't made any wine? Little apprentice sister, you're being impudent to your senior apprentice brother, Monkey 6 said with mock sternness. Aha, now you're flaunting your seniority, the girl grinned. Hey, 6th apprentice brother, you still haven't touched on the real topic. Why did big brother start drinking all the way from morning until evening? Right, Monkey 6 said. Big apprentice brother didn't pay any mind to how dirty the beggar was and pleaded for some wine from him. The beggar was so dirty that he must have had a crust of filth on him, at least 3 inches thick. Lice were crawling in and out of his filthy clothes. Tears and mucus covered his face. Maybe there was some drool in the calabash as well. Stop! Disgusting! The girl covered her mouth and frowned. You'd think it was disgusting, but not big apprentice brother, Monkey 6 exclaimed. The beggar said that only a half calabash of wine was left out of the 3. He was not going to give it away to anyone. Big apprentice brother took out a tael of silver and offered 1 tael of silver in exchange for 1 mouthful of wine. The girl was annoyed and amused at the same time. What a lush, she spat. The beggar finally agreed, Monkey 6 went on. He took the money and said 1 mouthful, no more. Big apprentice brother said, I said 1 mouthful, so of course only 1 mouthful. He lifted the calabash and started drinking. Who expect this mouthful to last so long that he would finish the entire half calabash of wine with just 1 breath? It turned out that he used the Qigong master had taught him to drink the entire calabash of wine like a black dragon sipping water from the tea without ever changing a breath. When everyone heard this, they all burst into laughter. So it looks like big apprentice brother is a big wine drinker. He drank the whole thing of wine in one breath. Monkey 6 continued, Little apprentice sister, if you were in Hangyang and witnessed big apprentice brothers drinking kung fu, you'd have nothing but admiration for him. Spirit concentrates in the diaphragm. Breath flows around the forbidden region. Soul floats in the air and rises above the mountains. Energy shoots up to the stars. His Qigong technique almost reached the pinnacle of perfection and was extremely subtle. The girl laughed so hard that she almost fell down. You big magpie, she scolded, describing Big Apprentice's brother in such a mean way. Huh, and you'd better be careful making fun of our Qigong formulas and scripts. I'm not making things up, Monkey 6 laughed. Every one of these 6 fellow apprentices saw it. Didn't Big Apprentice's brother drink using Qigong? Little apprentice sister, it was true. Other apprentices by the side chimed in, nodding. This Qigong technique was so difficult that he was the only one who was allowed to learn it, and all he could use it for was to cheat wine from a beggar. The girl sighed in despair. Yet beneath the condemnation there was an undercurrent of praise. So what we learn from this story is that the big apprentice brother is a big wine drinker, but he's also a really good fighter, right? He has really good chi. Nikki says, how do monkeys make wine? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you get a 1,000 monkeys and they'll just make stuff and one of them will make wine. It's like 1,000 monkeys on the keyboard. Monkey 6 continued with his story. Big Apprentice's brother drank until the bottom of the calabash pointed to the sky. The beggar, of course, didn't like it. He seized Big Apprentice brother's robe and kept yelling that he agreed to only one mouthful. How come Big Apprentice brother had drunk all his wine? Big Apprentice brother smiled and replied, I truly only drank one mouthful. Did you see me change breath? Without changing breaths, it only counts as one mouthful. We did not specify if it should be a big mouthful or a small mouthful. Actually, I only drank a half mouthful, not the full mouthful. 1 tael of silver for 1 mouthful. Half a mouthful should be only worth half a tael of silver. You owe me half a tael of silver. He drank someone's wine and still wanted to skip out on the bill? The girl couldn't help laughing. The beggar almost cried, Monkey 6 said. Big Apprentice brother then said, Hey brother, don't be so upset. I bet you must be quite a wine connoisseur. Come on, let's drink our fill, my treat. Then he dragged the beggar into a wine house by the side of the street. Then a bowl for you, a bowl for me, and the two just drank on and on. We waited until noon, and the two were still drinking. Big Apprentice brother then asked for the monkey and gave it to me to take care of. By the afternoon, the beggar was already lying on the floor, drunk and unable to get up. Big Apprentice brother was still drinking by himself, but not able to straighten his tongue. He told us to come to Hengshang first, and he would be right behind us. That's why he was drinking, the girl was satisfied. She paused for a while and then asked, Was the beggar a member of the beggar's clan? Nope, he didn't know any kung fu, and he wasn't carrying any bags either, the man dressed as a porter said, shaking his head. So the beggar's clan is another sect, another martial arts sect. And they're a sect of beggars, and they're actually the biggest sect, right? They have the most amount of people, and you can tell, yeah. So you can tell that they're not just regular beggars, by the fact that they have kung fu and the fact that they carry these bags with them, okay? And the bags are like ranks. So you have them. I think the more bags you have, the higher ranking you are in the beggars clan. Gabriel says, sounds like drunken monkey kung fu. Yes, I'd like to see that. The girl gazed at the rain outside for a while. Seeing that there was no sign of it stopping, she murmured, If you had come together with the others, then you wouldn't have to make your trip in the rain today. Little apprentice sister, you said that you and second apprentice brother saw lots of strange things on your way here. Aren't you going to tell us about them? Monkey 6 asked. What's the hurry? The girl asked. Let's wait until we see Big Apprentice Brother, then I'll tell you the story. So I don't need to tell it twice. Where did you agree to meet? We didn't arrange anything, Monkey 6 replied. The town of Hangshang isn't that big. We'll bump into each other eventually. Come on, you tricked me into telling the story about Big Apprentice Brother drinking the monkey wine, and now you don't want to tell us your story? The girl's attention seemed to have drifted away. Second apprentice brother, will you please tell the story to the other apprentice brothers? She glanced over at Lin Pingzhi's back and said, There are all kinds of people here. Let's find an inn first, and then tell the story at our leisure. All the inns in Hangshan town, big and small, are already full, a tall fellow, who didn't say much before, said. Since we don't want to disturb the Liu house, when we meet Big Apprentice Brother later, let's go to the temple monastery. The temple monastery outside town to rest. Second Apprentice Brother, what do you think? Since their senior apprentice brother had not yet arrived, it was natural that the old man was looked to as the leader among the apprentices. Agreed. Until then, we'll wait here for Big Apprentice Brother, he nodded. Monkey 6, however, was eager to hear their story. That hunchback is probably a retard. Oh, shouldn't say that. He has been sitting there for so long without moving a bit. Why should you worry about him? Second apprentice brother, when you went to Fuzhou with his little apprentice sister, what information were you able to gather? The Fortune Prestige escort house was wiped out by the Qincheng Sword School. So does the Lin family have any true skills? He prompted them in a low voice. Amanda says no one is regular in this story. Yeah, that's true. Hearing the name of the escort house mentioned, Lin Pingzhi listened even more intently. Little apprentice sister and I met the master in Changsha, the old man answered. Master told us to come to the town of Hangshang to meet Big Apprentice Brother and the rest of you. Let's not rush to the story about Fuzhou yet. Why did great Mr. Mo use the move 1 thrust 9 geese here? You all saw what happened, didn't you? Yeah, Monkey 6 immediately rushed to tell how people were talking about the gold basin hand-washing ceremony of Liu Jiangfeng and how great Mr. Mo showed up unexpectedly and scared everyone off. The old man nodded. After a long pause, he said, A lot of people in the martial arts world are saying that great Mr. Mo is not getting along with Master Liu. Now that Master Liu is about to have the hand-washing ceremony, I really don't understand why great Mr. Mo is acting in such an odd manner and not showing himself in public. Second apprentice brother, I heard that the headmaster of the Taishan Sword School, Priest Tianmen himself, came and has already arrived at the Liu house, the man with the abacus said. Priest Tianmen came in person? The Taishan school is one of the schools in the Sword Alliance. In that alliance of the 5 sword schools. Priest Tianmen came in person? The old man said in surprise. Master Liu is really going to look good now. Since Priest Tianmen is staying at the Liu house, if a fight really breaks out between Liu and Mo, the 2 apprentice brothers of the Hangshang Sword School, great Mr. Mo won't have such an easy job of it with such an elite fighter as backup for Master Liu. Second apprentice brother, whom will Master Yu from the Qincheng Sword School help then? The girl asked. Hearing the words Master Yu from Qincheng Sword School, Lin Pingzhi felt as if somebody had punched him in the stomach. Monkey 6 and the others all started talking at once. Master Yu is here too? It is not easy to get him off Mount Qincheng. There's going to be a big crowd in Hangshang now. So many master-level elite fighters. I am afraid that there might be some big fights. Little apprentice sister, who told you that Master Yu came too? Why do I have to be told? I saw him with my own eyes, the girl stated. You saw Master Yu in Hangshang? Monkey 6 asked. Not only in Hangshang town, but also in Fujian province and Jiangxi province, the girl said. Why did Master Yu go to Fujian, little apprentice sister? But I guess you probably won't know, wouldn't you? Would you? The man with the abacus said. Okay, so the master of the Qincheng school is here in town. No. Fifth apprentice brother, the girl replied, you don't have to prod me. I was going to tell you, but since you want to provoke me, I won't say a thing. This story is only about the Qincheng Sword School. There's no harm if the others overhear it. Second apprentice brother, what was Master Yu doing in Fujian? How did you see him? Monkey 6 couldn't stay his curiosity. Since big apprentice brother hasn't come yet, the old man said, and the rain won't be stopping soon, there's not much to do anyway. Let me tell you the story from the beginning. Once you understand the cause and effect, when you meet someone from the Qincheng Sword School later, at least you will be ready. Last December, when big apprentice brother beat up Ho Renying and Hong Renqiang, haha, Monkey 6 suddenly burst out laughing. What's so funny? The girl glared at him. Still laughing hard, Monkey 6 answered, I am laughing at those two arrogant fellows, naming themselves Renying and Renqiang. They're even known by the nickname Yingxiong Haojie, the four aces of Qincheng in the martial world. See, my name is just plain Lu Da Yu. With such a plain name, trouble would never come looking for me. That's not true, the girl exclaimed. Your last name wasn't Lu, and you weren't the sixth among the apprentices. Why would you have a nickname like Monkey 6? Sure, Lu Da Yu smiled. Starting from this day forth, I will change my name to... Don't interrupt second apprentice brother from telling the story, another apprentice cut him off. All right, I won't, Lu Da Yu said, but still could not help laughing. What are you laughing at now? You're just a nuisance, the girl frowned. Lu Da Yu grinned. I was just remembering how Ho Renying and Hong Renqiang rolled across the floor after being kicked by big apprentice brother, and still couldn't figure out who had kicked them or why they were kicked. It turned out that big apprentice brother just didn't like their names. He was shouting dumb bear, wild pig, the four asses of Qincheng loudly while drinking his wine. Ho and Hong, of course, got mad and came over to fight, but only got kicked down the stairs of the wine house for their trouble. Lin Pingzhi felt quite happy when he heard of their humiliation. Instantly, he felt closer to this big apprentice brother. Although he had never met Hu Renying or Hong Renqiang, these two were fellow apprentices of Fang Renji and Yu Renhao. When they got kicked down the stairs of the wine house, he could imagine how embarrassed they must have felt. Big apprentice brother had really helped him to vent his spleen. When big apprentice brother took Ho and Hong down a peg, the old man continued, they didn't know who big apprentice brother was at the time, but later they found out. So Master Yu wrote a letter to our master. The words were very polite, saying that he did not discipline his apprentices well and offended your brilliant disciple. So he specifically wrote this letter to apologize, so on and so forth. This fellow Yu is really cunning, Lu Da Yu explained. He wrote a letter of apology, but was actually complaining to the master. So because of the letter, big apprentice brother had to kneel outside for a whole day and a whole night. Finally, master finally let him off, only after all the apprentices pleaded on his behalf. What do you mean let him off? The girl retorted. He was beaten 30 strokes anyhow. Hey, I got 10 strokes along with big apprentice brother, Lu Da Yu said. Haha, but I saw Ho Renying and Hong Renqiang rolling down the stairs with such battered looks that the 10 strokes was well worth it. Ha 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 ha. Look at yourself, you don't have any remorse at all. The 10 strokes were wasted, the tall apprentice commented. How should I mend my ways? Lu Da Yu argued. When big apprentice brother wanted to kick them down the stairs, how was I supposed to stop him? At least you could have tried to talk him out of it, the tall apprentice said. The master had you pegged, Lu Da Yu. Well, he would never try to talk somebody out of mischief. Worse, he would add fuel to the flames. 10 strokes. Ha ha. The other apprentices laughed as well. This time, the master really wronged an innocent person, Lu Da Yu protested. Think about it. How fast can big apprentice brother kick? The two heroes rushed in each from one side. Big apprentice brother just lifted his bowl and kept drinking his wine in big gulps. I shouted, Big apprentice brother, look out. And then I heard two loud impacts, and then the thumping sounds of the two big heroes as they rolled all the way down the stairs. I really would have liked to get a better view, so I could get some pointers on the use of big apprentice brother's panther tail kick. But I didn't even have time to look, much less time to learn. How could I have added fuel to the flames? Monkey 6, the tall apprentice said, let me ask you, when Big Apprentice Brother was shouting, Dumb Bear, Wild Pig, the four asses of Xinjiang, did you happen to shout along with him? Speak honestly. Big Apprentice Brother had already started shouting. How could we, as junior Apprentice Brothers, not chime in to help? Are you telling me that I should have helped the Xinjiang Sword School to swear at Big Apprentice Brother? Lu Dayu grinned. See, the master didn't judge you wrongly at all, the tall apprentice concluded with a laugh. Lin Pingzhi thought, this Monkey 6 seems to be a good guy. I wonder which school or clan they belong to. We must all truly remember the words Master used to rebuke Big Apprentice Brother, the old man said. Master said, in the martial world, people have all kinds of nicknames. Prestige of the South, Wind-Chasing Hero, Grass Top, Flying Man, and what have you. None of them should be taken so literally. How could anyone verify the accuracy of so many names? If someone wants to be called Yingqiong Haojie, fine, let him be called that. If they are truly chivalrous, then we should be eager to admire them and try to make friends with them. How could we have any thoughts of hatred? But if they were not chivalrous, then their infamy would be known in the martial world. Everyone would look down upon them. So why should we bother with them? So if you didn't catch on, Yin Chong Haojie is the name of 4 apprentices of the Xinjiang school, right? And it's supposed to be a really prestigious name because they're the four great apprentices of the Xinjiang school. And then here was the Big Apprentice Brother beating up 2 of them with ease. So we know that the Big Apprentice Brother of these guys is really strong. Still, my name is Monkey 6. My name Monkey 6 is much better. No one will ever get mad at it, Lu Dayu murmured. Since Big Apprentice Brother kicked Hu and Hong down the stairs, the old man continued with a smile, this incident was seen as a huge humiliation and embarrassment for the Xinjiang Sword School. So of course, none of their people will ever talk about it, even among fellow apprentices. Few even know about it. Master had exhorted us not to let the information out, thus avoiding conflicts. So starting from now on, let's not talk about this anymore, in case somebody overhears and spreads the story about. To be frank, I really think Xinjiang Kung Fu has an undeserved reputation. Even if we did offend them, it wouldn't really matter. Lu Dayu was tempted to express his opinion. Before he could even finish, the old man yelled at him, 6th Apprentice Brother, if you keep talking nonsense, I will have to tell the master. Maybe you'll get another 10 strokes. Do you know that Big Apprentice Brother was able to kick those 2 down the stairs with a panther tail kick only because, first, he launched the attack unexpectedly. Second, he is an outstanding apprentice in our school, and the other apprentices are no matches for him. Do you think you have the skills to kick those 2 down the stairs? Don't compare me to Big Apprentice Brother, Lu Dayu said, sticking his tongue out and waving his hands. The master of the Xinjiang Sword School, Master Yu, is really a martial genius, the old man said with dead seriousness. Whoever underestimates him will surely be in trouble sooner or later. Little apprentice sister, you have seen Master Yu before. What do you think of him? Master Yu? He was so terrible. He frightens me. I don't want to see him again, the girl exclaimed. Her voice was trembling slightly and seemed to still have fear in it. Master Yu was frightening? Did you see him kill people? Lu Dayu asked. The girl shrank and did not answer the question. On the day our master received the letter from Master Yu, he was so angry that he inflicted those harsh punishments on Big Apprentice Brother and 6th Apprentice Brother. The next day he wrote a letter and told me to send it to Mount Xincheng, the old man said. So that was what you were doing that day when you left in such a hurry. You were actually heading to Mount Xincheng, several apprentices cried out. Yup, the old man nodded. At that time, Master told me not to mention it to any fellow apprentices to avoid additional incidents. What additional incidents? The respectful master was just being careful. Things the master asks us to do, of course, are things with good reasoning behind them. Who would agree otherwise? Lu Dayu stated. What do you know? The tall apprentice cut in. If second apprentice brother had told you about it, you would surely have passed the message on to big apprentice brother. Although big apprentice brother wouldn't disobey master's orders, it is very possible he would find some unusual ways to make trouble for the Qincheng sword school. Third apprentice brother is right, the old man agreed. Big apprentice brother has many friends in the martial world. If he really wants something done, he doesn't necessarily have to do it himself. Master told me that the letter contained all kinds of apologetic words to Master Yu, saying that his wayward apprentice was too ill-mannered, how he found the acts reprehensible, how he should have expelled the apprentice from the school, but if he did so, everyone in the martial world would think that conflict existed between your respectful school and our school, which wouldn't be a good thing. Now he had those two wayward apprentices. He gave Lu Dayu a glance at these words. So I am a wayward apprentice as well. Lu Dayu was displeased. Is placing you at the same level as big apprentice brother a disgrace for you? The girl asked. Lu Dayu immediately became very happy. You're right. Get me some wine. Get me some wine, he yelled. The tea shop only had tea for sale, not wine. The waiter rushed to the temple and said, Ha, you all. Our tea shop only has Dragon Well, Dongting Spring, Pu'er, Iron Buddha. Ha, you all. We don't sell wine, you all. The people of Hangyang and Hangshan region had their own special accent, and this waiter was no exception. Ha, you all. So ha, your all's shop doesn't sell wine? Then I won't drink ha, your all's wine. Ha, you all. Lu Dayu mimicked. Sure, ha, you all. The waiter answered, and then he filled all the teapots with boiled water. I think something's lost in translation. The old man continued, Master said in the letter that he had already had the two wayward apprentices harshly punished. He would have made the two go to Mount Qincheng themselves to offer a humble apology. But the two wayward apprentices were hurt so bad from their punishment, they could not even walk. That's why he sent his second apprentice, Lao Danuo, to take the rebuke in their stead. This incident was solely caused by the wayward apprentices. He hopes Master Yu does not take too much offense for the sake of the good relationship between the Qincheng Sword School and the Huashang Sword School. When they meet in the future, he would apologize to Master Yu personally. So your name is Lao Danuo, and you are from the Huashang Sword School, part of the Five Mountains Sword Alliance, Lin Pingji thought. When he considered the words, for the sake of the good relationship between the two in the letter, he could feel his heart beating faster. This Lao Diannuo and the ugly girl have seen me twice. I sure hope they don't recognize me today. Lao Diannuo's voice rose again. After I arrived at Mount Qincheng, Ho Renying did not seem to hold a grudge, but Hong Renqiang was still mad about it and ridiculed me several times to try and pick a fight. Damn, those Qincheng fellows are aggressive. Second apprentice brother, if he wants to fight, give him a fight. What are we afraid of? I know that fellow Hong is no match for you, Lu Dayu said. Master sent me there to apologize, not to make trouble, Lao Diannuo exclaimed. So I swallowed my anger and stayed on Mount Qincheng for 6 days. I was not received by Master Yu until the 7th day. Huh, harsh attitude, huh? Second apprentice brother, I bet those 6 days and nights on Mount Qincheng probably weren't too enjoyable, Lu Dayu interrupted again. There certainly was a lot of baiting, Lao Diannuo said, but I knew that Master sent me on this not because I was any better in kung fu skills or the like, but because I am older, so I do a better job of staying calm. The longer I could hold my anger, the better I could accomplish the mission. Those Qincheng people didn't realize that keeping me waiting for 6 days in the Pine Wind Temple of Mount Qincheng wasn't actually doing them any good. During my stay in the Pine Wind Temple, I got really bored since they wouldn't let me see Master Yu. On the 3rd day, I got up early to take a walk and secretly worked on some breathing exercises to prevent my skills from getting rusty. I was wandering around and happened to pass by the exercise field at the rear of the Pine Wind Temple. With a glance, I saw dozens of Qincheng apprentices practicing their kung fu. Of course, in the martial world, it is considered a taboo to watch others practicing their kung fu, so I turned around to go back to my room. But even with such a quick glance, I felt something suspicious was going on. Each of the apprentices used a sword and was obviously practicing the same set of sword moves. Each one seemed to have only just learned the set, because as they practiced, their moves looked quite stiff. But what sword technique was it? I couldn't tell with my one glance very easily. After I went back into my room, I mulled over what I saw, and the more I thought about it, the more suspicious I became. Qincheng Sword School has been well known for ages. Many apprentices had been part of the school for 10 or 20 years, and each apprentice would have joined at a different time. So why was everyone learning the same sword technique at the same time? Particularly since among the dozens of apprentices were the so-called four aces of Qincheng: Hou Renying, Hong Renxiang, Yu Renhao, and Luo Renjie. Fellow apprentice brothers, if it were you that saw this scene, what would you think? Maybe the Qincheng Sword School just acquired a secret sword art manual, or maybe Master Yu just invented a new set of sword techniques and was teaching it to his apprentices, the apprentice with the abacus suggested. I was thinking the same thing in the beginning, Lao Dianhua replied, but after I thought on it more carefully, I realized that something was not quite right. With Master Yu's understanding of the sword arts, if these were newly created moves, then they must have been really outstanding moves. On the other hand, if they did acquire an ancient secret sword art manual, the moves it contained must have been excellent. Otherwise, he wouldn't have even bothered looking at it or asked his apprentices to practice them. Ugh. The new sword techniques could undo the training they had already undergone. If the moves were excellent moves, then the average apprentice wouldn't have been able to understand them easily. He would have most likely chosen 3 or 4 of his top apprentices to try them out, not having over 40 apprentices learn at the same time. That's more like having someone open a kung fu school for mere profit, not something a master of a noble martial arts school would do. So it looks like the students at this Qincheng school are learning a new move, and it's weird. It's weird to these guys. The next morning, I went to the rear of the temple again and strolled past the exercise field. Once again, they were practicing the same sword technique. I did not dare to stop and watch. With a quick glance, I managed to memorize 2 of the moves. I figured I could ask the master's opinion regarding them later when I got back. By that time, Master Yu still hadn't allowed me to see him, so naturally I suspected the Qincheng Sword School might harbor a lot of hatred toward our Huashang Sword School. Perhaps they were practicing these new moves so they could use them against us. I kept telling myself I'd better be more careful. Second apprentice brother, could they have been practicing a new sword formation? The tall apprentice asked. That was possible, Lao Dianhua said, but they were mostly practicing in pairs, and the attacking side was using all the same type of moves as the defending side. It didn't look like a sword formation to me. The morning after that, I walked by the exercise field again, but this time the whole field was completely empty. I knew that they were trying to hide something from me, so my suspicions were aroused even more. I was just wandering by and happened to glance in their direction from far away. What secret could I have seen? It seemed like they were really practicing a powerful set of sword techniques to counter us. Otherwise, why would they worry so much about what I had seen? That night, I lay on my bed and couldn't sleep, thinking over the whole matter. Then I heard the dim clash of weapons coming from a distance. I was startled. Did some powerful enemy just invade the Pine Wind Temple? My first thought was that perhaps Big Apprentice Brother had gotten angry because of the punishment he received from our master and decided to attack the Pine Wind Temple. He was just one person and would not be able to fight the whole temple. I had to go help him. I did not bring any weapons with me when I went to Mount Qincheng, and in my hurry, I could not stop and find a sword either, so I had to rush out with just my bare hands. Amazing, Lu Yu praised. Second apprentice brother, you have great courage. I would never dare to go fight Master Yu, the headmaster of the Qincheng Sword School, with only my bare hands. Monkey 6, what are you babbling about? Lao Danois yelled angrily. I didn't say that I went to fight Master Yu with bare hands. I was just worried about Big Apprentice Brother's safety, so although I knew it was dangerous, I just had to go. Would you have me hide under my covers like a coward? All the apprentices laughed when they heard this. Here I am showering you with praise and admiration, and you get angry at me? Lu Dayu made a face. Thanks, but your kind of compliments don't sit well with me, Lao Danois replied. Second apprentice brother, go on with your story. Don't pay attention to Monkey 6, several other apprentices urged. I think I need to get more water. That's a lot of reading. Dun, 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 dun. Area 609 Joe says, I forgot to buy fire whiskey. Damn. I got your fire whiskey with me. I might drink it on stream later. Joshua says, does anybody remember the son of a thingy on the last stream? Yeah, that was weird. We haven't heard anybody say son of a turtle yet. Huh. It might come later. Dun, 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 dun. Great Watcher says, yes, my first Linfamy live stream. Chili Bean says, Nikki asks, what's in the mug? It's just water. It's water. It's my Game of Thrones mug. Because winter is coming. I think winter already came and it passed. Game of Thrones is a great show, by the way, except for the last few seasons. But the first few seasons are awesome. All right, let's take a 3-minute break. All right. Take a 3-minute break while I go get some water. Oh no! You guys, I've been on my cam the entire time. I'm so sorry. I was supposed to have this screen on so you guys can read it along. Oh, damn it. Okay, well, anyways. Let's take a water break. 3 minutes. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Ugh. I'm so mad that I didn't put on the freaking browser. You guys were just looking at my face the entire time. Chili Beans. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, Chili Beans. Anyone speak? He says, anyone speak Chinese? I want to know what she is saying. Yeah, I don't speak Chinese. I don't know what the hell she's saying. I thought it was a good song though, wasn't it? Dun. Hannah says, we love your face. I don't think so. This is my bad side. I think this is my good side. But too bad the camera is right here. So you're getting my bad side. Guess what I have? I think I'm gonna have to do a recap in a bit because the words weren't on the screen, so I don't know how you guys understood what was going on. This is from Joe, and I'm gonna take a swig. Oh, you guys want to know what that song was? Let me put it on in the chat. Do, 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 do. Ugh. Oh shit! How do I put it in the chat? I got it. There you go. Yeah, look that up. It's really good. Nikki says, without the words, it forced us to pay closer attention to your voice. I don't think that's a good thing. That might be a bad thing. All right, I'm gonna take a swig. Joe bought me this, actually. Yeah, so thank you so much. Can you guys see? You may get a little ASMR right here. Can you hear that? All right, cheers. That's definitely gonna dry my mouth. So I need more water. Kashim says, damn, English translation does make Chinese titles sound corny. Yeah, there's a lot of corny things. You just have to move past it. Move past it. This is actually a fan translation. I don't know if we have official translations, but this is a fan translation. And it's pretty good, guys. It's good enough for our purposes. Nikki asks, is son of a turtle a real Chinese insult? I believe it is real. I don't know if people use it anymore, but I believe it is a real insult. I want to make it a real insult. I want to make it an insult that we use. All right. I want to make it an insult of the Lin For Me channel. All right. So what was happening while I was reading? Let's go back to this screen. Oh wait, let's go back to this screen. All right, what happened was, so Lin Pingzhi is in this restaurant, and he sees these group of people who turn out to be part of the same school, one of the schools in the Five Mountains Sword Alliance, and they're talking stuff like the way friends talk. They're all part of the same school, so they're brothers and sisters. They're sworn brothers and sisters, not blood brothers and sisters. We find out that those two people in the beginning, the girl with the pockmarked face and the old man, were not really grandfather and granddaughter. They were actually people from the same school, and they were in disguise. And it looks like the girl. We find out that the girl really likes the older brother, who we haven't seen yet. Okay, the senior student, the senior apprentice in their school. What else did we find out? So, yeah. So it turns out, they're talking a lot about the big brother who. I don't want to give it away. We're talking a lot about the big brother. And he turns out to be a guy who drinks wine a lot, and he's really strong in martial arts. Okay. What else? Oh yeah. So now the second apprentice brother, this guy named Lao Dianois, is telling us about the time that he went to the Qincheng Sword School, and he sees the students there practicing a certain martial arts, right? And it seems to be something new for them. And almost the entire school, it seems to be practicing this. And he's trying to figure out why. It seems very suspicious to him that they're practicing this weird new martial arts. All right. Nikki says, next time I pass someone slow in traffic, I'll call them a son of a turtle. Yes. All right, you sons of turtles. Let's continue. Lao Denois continued. So I got up quietly and followed the direction of the sounds. Hearing the clash of weapons getting louder and louder, my heart beat faster and faster. I thought the two of us are deep in the enemy's lair now. Big Apprentice Brother has excellent kung fu skills. He might be able to escape without injury, but for me it's a different story. I am in trouble now. I heard the sound of weapons float out from the back hall. All kinds of lights and candles lit the back hall, making it seem like broad daylight. I crouched down to sneak in closer and looked inside through the cracks of the window, and then I gasped and almost burst into laughter. It turned out I was just imagining things. Because Master Yu hadn't met with me for so many days, my imagination had carried me away, and I imagined the worst thing that could happen. It wasn't Big Apprentice Brother coming to make trouble after all. There were two pairs inside practicing their sword moves. One pair was of Hou Renying and Hong Renqiang, and the other pair was of Fang Renqi and Yu Renhao. So these are the four main apprentices of the Qincheng school. Ha! The apprentices of the Qincheng sword school really work hard, not even resting at night, Lu Dayu mocked. I guess this is what they called sharpening one's spear only before going into a battle, or no jaw sticks in fair weather, but clutching the feet of the Buddha in crisis. Lao Denois gave Lu Dayu a glare and continued. In the middle of the back hall, a short Taoist priest in a blue Taoist robe sat there. He was about 50 years old and had a thin face. By the look of him, no one could tell that he weighed no more than 20 pounds. It was said in the martial world that the headmaster of the Qincheng sword school was a short Taoist priest, but if I had not seen him with my own eyes, I wouldn't have expected him to be so short, and wouldn't have believed that he was the famous Master Yu. There were many apprentices standing around him, attentively watching the four practicing. After watching a couple of moves, I knew instantly that they were using the new moves that they had been practicing over the last couple of days. I knew it was dangerous for me to be there at that time. If the people from the Qincheng sword school had found me, not only would I be harshly punished, but the reputation of the Huashan sword school would also have been hurt badly if the news got out. Although Master punished the Big Apprentice Brother harshly for kicking the top two of the four aces of Qincheng down the stairs, saying that he had violated the school rules and caused all kinds of trouble, and offended friends in the Master's heart, I believe he was actually glad. At least Big Apprentice Brother had gained good publicity for our school. How can they be the four aces of Qincheng? They couldn't even fend off a single kick from the senior apprentice of the Huashan sword school. But if I got caught sneaking around, digging up other people's secrets, it would look worse than stealing money. And when I got back to Huashan, Master would most likely have expelled me from the Huashan sword school. But seeing those people practicing so hard, I really thought it might have had something to do with... God damn it. You guys! Alright, switching back to this browser. I keep forgetting. Joe, thank you so much for reminding. Happy days, thank you for reminding. I'm terrible at this. I'm a terrible YouTuber. I'm a terrible live streamer. Dun dun dun. Where am I? But seeing those people practicing so hard, I really thought it might have had something to do with our school. How could I just turn around and leave? I just kept telling myself, I'll just watch a couple of more moves before leaving. But after watching a couple, I watched another couple, and so on and so on. The sword moves they used were so unusual. I had never seen anything like them before in my life. But if someone claimed that these moves had some kind of great power, I couldn't have agreed. I wondered, this set of sword techniques is nothing special. Why would the Qincheng sword school want to practice it so hard day and night? Could this set of sword techniques be the counter to our Huashan sword arts? It didn't look like it. After watching several more moves, I dared not continue watching, so I sneaked away and went back to my room while the four were still fighting intensely. If I had waited until the four stopped fighting and the noises ended, there would have been no way for me to get away. With his superior skills, Master Yu would have found me out after my first step outside the hall. In the following 2 nights, the sound of swords ringing against each other kept coming from the distance, but I dared not go watch anymore. To be honest, if I had known that they were practicing sword fighting in front of Master Yu, I would never have dared to go there at all. The first time was just an accident. Just now, Sixth Apprentice Brother praised my courage. I did not deserve such praise. If you had seen my face that night, you would have known how terrified I was, and you'd have called me the #1 coward. No way, Lu Dayu objected. Second Apprentice Brother, you'd be at most #2. If it were I wouldn't have to worry about being found out by Master Yu. I would have been so scared that my whole body would have become stiff. I would stop breathing and not be able to move an inch. Pretty much no different from a zombie. No matter how outstanding Master Yu's kung fu skills are, he would have never known that there was a hero named Lu Dayu hiding outside his window. The apprentices broke into uproarious laughter. Later, Master Yu finally met with me, Lao Dianhua continued. He spoke in a very polite manner, saying that Master really didn't have to punish Big Apprentice Brother so harshly. The Qincheng Sword School and the Huashang Sword School have always maintained a good relationship. The apprentices were only roughhousing with each other, just like children playing practical jokes with each other. The parents should never take such matters seriously. That night, he invited me for dinner. The following morning, when I was leaving, Master Yu saw me off, all the way to the gate of the Pine Wind Temple. Since I was the apprentice, I, of course, knelt down and kowtowed. Kowtow means bow. Right after I knelt down on my left knee, Master Yu lifted his right hand slightly and lifted me right up. His power was amazing. It felt like I had suddenly lost all of my strength, and my body was floating in the air. If he had wanted to toss me 30 feet or simply flip me over 7 or 8 times, I would not have had any strength to defend myself. Master Yu smiled slightly and asked, "How many more years than you has your senior apprentice brother been an apprentice of your master? You had some martial arts skills before you became an apprentice to your master, hadn't you?" I was still trying to catch my breath after experiencing his grip, so I had to wait a while before answering. Yes, I learned martial arts skills before joining the Huashang Sword School. At the time I became an apprentice of the Huashang Sword School, Big Apprentice Brother had been an apprentice for 3 years. Master Yu smiled again and said, 3 years more. 3 years more. What did he mean by saying 3 years more? The girl asked. He had an odd expression. I guess he must have been thinking that my kung fu skills were mediocre, so that even if Big Apprentice Brother had studied 3 more years than I did, he couldn't be too much better. Lao Dianhua shrugged. The girl gave a hum and fell silent. After I went back to Mount Huashan, I gave the master the reply letter from Master Yu. Lao Dianhua went on. The letter was written in a very polite and modest manner, so the master was very pleased after reading it. Then he asked about different things happening in the Pine Wind Temple. So I told him about that night the Qincheng apprentices practiced. Master asked me to show him a couple of the moves. I only remembered 7 or 8 of them, so I imitated the moves. Master said immediately when he saw them, "Those are the moves of the evil-resisting sword art of the Fortune Prestige Escort House, the Lin family." When Lin Pingqi heard this, his body trembled. Ooh. So they were practicing that the evil resisting sword art of the Lin family. So somehow they know the moves, and if you know anything about these worlds, all of the moves, anyone's moves, all of your martial arts you keep it secret, right? You want to keep it secret so that other people don't know your moves and think of ways to counter them. Okay, so for some reason, the Qincheng school knows the moves of the Lin family. Dun, dun, dun. Disc 7369 says he found a cool site that you can buy handmade sword on. I've looked at those sites, and I really want a sword, but they're way too expensive. They're like, it depends on the sword, but they range from hundreds to thousands of dollars. But they look really nice. Chili Beans, we're gonna send Linfamy a sword. Don't send me a sword. Can you send sword through the mail? Can you send swords through the mail? I don't think you can because they're sharp, right? Yeah. Nikki says one dance crew copied a rival dance crew's dance moves, and now it's on. Yeah. Martial arts is just like dancing. It's just like you have your secret dance moves, and you don't want the other side to know about them. I gotta remember to not to move away from the face cam when reading. You guys need to remind me. All right, I think we're done for the day. I think we're done. Next time I'll remember to put on the browser instead of the face cam. Should I take another swig? I think I should. This is really good. It's that fire, that cinnamon taste. All right, some more ASMR for you guys. Oh no, it spilled. All right. I kind of spilled it, but cheers. Nikki says best to call the post office. Yeah, can I mail a sword? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you cannot mail a sword. I don't know, maybe. Don't mail me a sword. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I have something to show you guys. I have some new charms that I haven't revealed yet, but I can show it to you guys. You want to see? Want to see? You can't get them anywhere at the moment. Okay, this is a bonus for people who are have stayed on the stream for this long. I have 6 new charms. You want to see? Dun, 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 dun. We have the smallpox demon. Come on. Can you see that? Yeah. That's right. We have a kitsune. 3-tailed fox. Ooh. What else we got? We have a tanuki. I like this one. He's sitting on his big balls. I love that. Da-na-na-na. We have a little Michael. This is not a geisha. She's a Michael, which is a geisha in training. Oh, sorry, it's not six new charms. It's yeah, that's it. Those are the four. Those are the four. And then I have the ones that I've shown you guys before actually. This is Melon Princess. Uriko Hime. And then this is Tsukuyomi. This is Amaterasu. And then here's another Amaterasu. Yeah. So you can't get these anywhere at the moment. I'm going to tell you how you get them later on. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. Oh, god damn it. I should have put it on the big cam. God. You guys. Ugh. Fucking face cam. All right, let me put let me do this again. Just really quick, really quick. Smallpox demon. All right. Tanuki. Maiko. Maiko. And a three-tailed kitsune. Yeah. There you go. All right. Yes, Nikki, I am a master YouTuber. Master. I'm a professional, guys. This is a professional stream, okay? Oh, DSK. I'm sorry. Did I swear? I think I swore. I blame it on the alcohol. Am I getting red? Do you see a little red Asian glow? That's just 2 shots. Yeah, I feel a little hot. It is, but it's hot anyways. Amanda likes the three-tailed. Yeah. Tatiana says they're super cute. Thank you. I try to make them cute. Hannah needs a new keychain. Well, you're in luck because I have them. I'm not telling you how to get them yet. So, all right, I think we're done, guys. Next week, I promise. Next week, I'll get like I'll become more professional. I'll be on top of the cam, live screen, browser, switching. Yeah, how many people get the Asian glow? I get it right. I get it after very few drinks. Like I don't feel drunk, right? I just get the glow. It's not me being drunk. It's just glow. Yeah. And then people are like, "Oh, people are like, "Oh, are you drunk and stuff?" No, I'm not drunk. It's just I don't know, I get the glow. It's just weird. Chili Bean says you're very red like cherry. It's the camera. It's the camera. I'm not red. This is actual red. Okay. This is it's a little pink. All right, you guys. Goodbye. I will see you next week. Thanks for sticking around. You got a bonus. You got to see the new charms. Serious Lollygagger says the three-tailed is his favorite. Yeah. I like it too. Nikki says, great stream. Thank you so much. Marmot, you just joined? I'm sorry. It's done. The stream is done. I'm sorry. Tune in next week at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time on Sundays. All right. Hey, Criticus. Yes, you are too late. I'm sorry. Bye. Bye, guys.